Here, back for another update. Let's take a look at CASPER over here. And what we see over here, we actually don't see much price history with CASPER. We actually, from 2021, we see a straight drop down, and then the price moves sideways into over 660 days of accumulation. So from the start over here to the current day, that's about 655 plus days of sideways movement. To the untrained eye, you would think this coin is dead, right? Its coin is not going anywhere. But in reality, we have pure Wyckoff accumulation here. We have your selling climax, you have your automatic rally, your secondary test, your failed breakout, secondary test in phase B, move back up to the top of the range for your failed breakout before going into a creaking like action, right? Once you go below this psychological support, this is when all the retail sell their bags. Similar to how they sold their bags over here at the selling climax and at this secondary test in phase B, right? Every time the price moves back down into extremes, that's when people panic. That's when retail sell their bags. And today they were really panicking because we came back down to the lows, came back down to extremes. And what we see over here is after your creaking phase, after going below psychological support, we have your spring. After your spring, you see an initial advance and then a test of the lows before having a jump across the creek. So we're bound to have this jump across the creek, and we're bound to reach these range highs again. And the reason for that is because when we take a closer look at CASPER, we see that it has come down to the 88.6% fib in relation from this low in relation to this high over here. So and we're also printing a bullish hammer on the daily time frame. So wouldn't surprise me, we make our way back up to these range highs sitting at 0.0563 and 0.06348. Okay, so once we have that jump across, which is bound to happen, the CASPER is going to go into pure price discovery. Okay, because we don't see much history. Now, when you don't see much history in the coin, and all you see is an immediate drop into accumulation, that coin is likely going to outperform the rest of the market. I've seen it before throughout the years that I've been in crypto. Now, even if let's just say CASPER didn't perform well, let's just say it didn't have an impulsive move up, let's just say that when it does break out, it's corrective. Okay, so in that case, what we can do is take a fib from this high over here down to this low, and the 38.2% fib is 1,000% from current prices. That's about a 10x, right? Now a dead cat bounce, what a dead cat bounce is, you would need to come to at least the 50%, or at least close to it, I should say, at least close to the 50% or towards the 50% before heading downwards. And even if we just went up to the 38.2% fib, that would be a 10x. If we fulfilled what a true dead cat bounce is, that would be 20x, over 24x. Okay? So we see some bullish momentum still with CASPER. It's right down to extremes. It's right at the 88.6% fib, so it makes sense why people are panicking right now. In fact, it looks exactly like XLM before it broke out. Now, to the untrained eye, you would see that this is your left shoulder, this is your head, this is your right shoulder, your neckline, and we're bound to see a breakdown from there. But I noticed that when coins like to go into accumulation, they like to form a head and shoulders fake out. Like let's take a look at XLM, for example. What do we see here? We see your left shoulder, your head, and then your right shoulder. Okay? When we measure this move over here from the adjacent low, we see that it has come down So from this low over here up to this high, look where this leg takes you. Right down to the 88.6% fib. Okay, before we blast off. And this is your left shoulder, your head, and then your right shoulder. And then when your second throwback comes down to the 88.6% fib, we blast off. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at CASPER over here. Okay, what do we see? We see your left shoulder, your head, your right shoulder, and then if we take a fib from this low up to this high, we're right at the 786, and then if we take a fib from this adjacent low up to this high, we're right at the 88.6% fib. So that's very significant. Also considering we printed a daily bullish hammer here. Okay, so it wouldn't surprise me if we make our way back up to range highs, and then eventually see that breakout. Okay, and we will be targeting the 38.2% fib, which is a 10x. And if this was a dead cat bounce, then we would be targeting the 50%, or at least close to it, or at least between the 38.2% fib and the 50%, which would be around a 20x from current prices. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. If you want analysis like this every day, click the link in the description below to get access to over 300 plus charts, live updates, a community, and the ability to ask me any question you want. Peace out and take it easy. See you in the next one.